intriguing opening scene. Very polished cinematic film, and I thought the lead actor was outstanding and really sold the believability of the kind of time loop that he we were on in his journey, and the special effects and the lighting were fantastic. Really is a very polished
I
product.
really liked this one. It was like a feature film. I really liked it. Was very Fight Club type, totally unpredictable. I really liked the special effects, the sound and music effects. The performances were amazing. I really enjoyed the wisdom they portray with the words like surviving sometimes is more important than winning, and some other things they say through the film. It is very wise. I really enjoyed it. Quite entertaining, and I would really like to watch a feature film.
I thought this was really good. I like the anticipation and the intrigue and the way it was presented. And I thought that the lighting and the music really added to the whole scene. I mean, it really left you in suspense during the whole period of time. I thought that was really well done.
I thought that the intro was very strong and mysterious. Um, while watching the short film, I noticed with the editing, it was cut so perfectly and so timely with the scenes, the characters popping in and out, the camera angles, and I really enjoyed watching the perfect timing for when the voice effects came in, and as well as the sound effects.
There is a great use of sound effects to create suspense. The atmosphere is super creepy, and the light is itself a character because at a few spots it's amazing how it becomes part of the story.
I loved the music of the intro and the background noise. That was a really cool effect for the story. The clock ticking throughout, that really added to the suspense to me of the film. From a cinematography standpoint, I really loved the setting. I loved the transition of the sound effects from the first room to the second. That was really cool. The cabin in the woods, I think it was perfect setting for this story. And then one of my favorite scenes was when they switched from the observer to the observed, and the quote, "Was it worth it?" I thought that was really well done. I loved the pan out from the outside of the window scene. That was a really cool effect. And then from the acting standpoint, that was one of my favorite parts of this film. I thought the acting was great between the two main characters and the lady authoritative figure. Cool. I just thought it was really well put together. I liked the story a lot, and from the acting to the sound effects to the cinematography to the setting, I just really enjoyed it. This film, so definitely it's worth watching.
I liked the widescreen. I liked the color tinge, the intensity, the drama, and the acting. I like the way that he was looking back on his past while he was physically there, and that the story was being presented backwards. I also liked how Sam talked to future Jamie, making him feel guilty for his decision. I think that this put an interesting spin on the film. I also like the very scary voice that Sam used after he pushed Jamie to the floor. I think that this was very well done. I thought it was very powerful when Jamie pointed the gun at Sam at the end. And at the end, when he walked into the bright light, you think it's going to be a happy ending, but then it turns dark. So you see that he is still in the darkness after all, where darkness lies.
Personally, I really enjoy non-linear stories, so the fact that this doesn't start you off at like the beginning of a story, it kind of drops you down like into the middle or kind of towards the end of a story, I really like, because then as an audience member, I'm almost, I don't know like if it's necessarily more invested, not invested, but I
pay closer attention to things because I'm trying to figure out like how we got to that place. But I thought that they did a really, really good job.
Definitely some mystery that draws you in right away, like psychological thrillers like to do. Unfortunately, that mystery kind of evolved into confusion and stayed there. You don't get any answers really to what's going on. Is this all in the Jamie's head or not? But I mean, that's okay. That's kind of part of the fun sometimes, that suspense of not knowing. And if this were like a sample for a feature length film, then yeah, I mean, you could look forward to maybe getting an answer. That all aside, though, I thought there were some things that were done really well. I, for one, loved the location. I thought it had a lot of sort of charm in a creepy, mystic kind of way. The cinematography was great, and the lighting and some of the staging was fantastic too. The supporting actors, their portrayals kind of fell flat in places, but that stuff aside, again, the fellow who portrays Jamie did a great job, I thought, with such difficult material.
This was gorgeous. This was an absolutely stunning film, like visually alone. Like the story was very compelling. It's challenging to tell a story that takes place in one location, like one setting, and I feel like it did a really great job at kind of like wringing out all of the potential of that space, which was very visually striking to begin with. The performances were great. Yeah, I would be down to see this as a feature, and I think that the filmmakers should pursue that. Truly, great job.